The next video is about biological factors. A biological factor is where they are born, such as in how high they are born above sea level. For example, the Kenyans are 2,800 meters above sea level. This also means that the air around Kenya is a lot thicker and carries less oxygen, meaning it is easier to do altitude training than other places such as the UK. The Kenyans also earn around $800 per annual capita, so this is why the Kenyans run, because it is seen as a way out of there. They describe their elite runners as having run or walked an average of 8 to 12 kilometers a day, 5 days a week from an early age, around 7 or 8 years old, increasing to 90 kilometers a week as adolescents. This shows that the development they had from an early age was huge, as they was only doing this to get an education. To help with the motivation of the Kenyans becoming professional runners, the younger aspiring athletes would run with the current professionals for them to help push them further and become better runners. From an early age, the Kenyans are to do an arch-to-arch race. This race is 60 miles long, and this is where they find out who are the fastest runners and best athletes. At this event, there will be people there scouting the runners as they want to try and develop runners to try and become professional and even possible world champions in the future with the right training. This will mean they get coaching, and this will see them develop as runners and athletes. This will give them a better chance of competing in the major marathons around the world, such as the London Marathon and the Olympics as well. To help with their running, they biologically have long, thin legs. This is helpful because, on average, a Kenyan's leg is 400 grams lighter than their European competitors, which translates to an energy saving of 8% when running. This gives them a helping hand. Even though it's only 8%, it now means that they can push that bit harder, and they won't feel the effects of it as if they was a runner from the UK or a European country. This is another reason as to why there are a high proportion of Kenyan runners who finish highly in the long distance events such as the London Marathon and 10,000 metre marathon in Olympics. A good example of someone like this is Martin Lell. Martin Lell is a Kenyan runner who has won the London Marathon in 2005, 7 and 8. He also won the New York City Marathon in 2003 and 2007. He also won the Great North Run in 2007 and 2009. Also, when competing in road races between the years of 2003 and 2012, he didn't finish lower than third in any race he ran. He is 5 foot 7 inches and weighs around 120 pounds and holds the record alongside Portugal's Antonio Pinto for the most men's London Marathon wins. Pinto had all his wins between 1991 and 2000, but Lell had his between 2005 and 2008. And in that time setting a new record, which was 2 hours and 5 minutes and 15 seconds. The last person to win the London Marathon who was not African was Pinto. One of the best UK runners also trained in Kenya, and he goes by the name of Sir Mohammed Farah. He trained in Kenya for the main reason of altitude training. He was born in Mogadishu, Somalia, but moved to Britain at the age of 8 to join his father, who was a British citizen. He has won gold medals for the 5,000 metre and 10,000 metre events at the London 2012 and Rio 2016 Olympic Games, and has won the 5,000 metre race in 14 different locations, as well as the 10,000 metre race in 7 different locations. This will make him the greatest British long-distance runner in history, as not many others have won this many events in that many different locations or in the Olympics. To conclude, this is a great way to show off the ability they have to other nations and how they've developed to become the world's best with very little funding. Kenyans are blessed that they are born 2,800 metres above sea level, but use this very much to their advantage. This will mean they have extra red blood cells as the air is thicker and there is less oxygen available to them. The red blood cells mean they are oxygenated and go to the muscles that you are using. Whilst they don't have the same level of funding as some of the larger nations do, such as America, England and other European countries, they work just as hard, if not harder, to fulfill their dreams of competing and winning the major long-distance events. Most Kenyans will start running from an early age on barefoot, which means they are used to running on bad surfaces with no protection. So when they come to run on smooth surfaces with proper running shoes, they will have an even bigger advantage, as this would be considered the norm for Europeans. Another advantage they have is that they will start running earlier than most other athletes because they have to run to school or to get water for their family, and this can often be a large distance. This is an advantage as they will also sometimes have to run with added weights.